Sarcasm!
Sarcasm?
Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys!
Inside Out brought a cast of colorful new characters into the world of Pixar's films when it premiered nearly a decade ago. Riley Anderson's mind housed 5 emotions with distinct personalities and purposes, each determined to help her navigate life with their unique talents. However, none felt prepared when Riley and her family moved across the United States. Riley's life began to fall apart as she left behind everything she ever knew, and her emotions were left to deal with the consequences when joy and sadness became estranged from headquarters. Much of the first film focuses on the relationship between joy and sadness, from their constant conflicts to how they can work together to benefit Riley. Their friendship blossomed on the screen, and in the long-awaited sequel, there are bound to be new relationship dynamics between Riley's old and new emotions. In today's video, we're discussing which emotions could bond throughout Inside Out 2.
I can't, Joy.
Yes, you can. Riley needs you.
Number 1. Sadness and embarrassment. In the original Inside Out, sadness became forced into an antagonistic role because joy and the other emotions misunderstood her purpose. They believe she's unhelpful to Riley because she becomes upset under sadness's influence. Unfortunately, sadness grows to accept their criticisms, making her have a Melrose and unenthusiastic approach to most situations. Throughout the first film, sadness struggles to confront or embrace difficult situations, often hiding her face or falling to the ground in defeat. However, her desire to help Joy and Riley requires her to overcome her reservations and be brave. In the trailer for Inside Out 2, the new emotion of embarrassment appears reminiscent of who Sadness was in the first film. Although Joy tries to greet him with a welcoming smile and handshake, he can't seem to get it right. Instead of coping with the situation, Embarrassment opts for hiding his face and silently sulking. Later, when Riley becomes embarrassed by her response to the older hockey player Valentina, Embarrassment falls against the control panel. Since Sadness has experienced the same despairing emotions as Embarrassment, she may be in the best position to help him work through them. As she did in the first film, she could help him discover his grander purpose for Riley, assisting him in becoming more confident in the role he must play within headquarters. While wanting to hide away is a prominent symptom of intense embarrassment, learning humility could also help Riley navigate difficult situations.
What's your name, big fella?
That's Embarrassment. Welcome to headquarters, Embarrassment.
Number 2. Disgust and envy. Although she may seem unfriendly, disgust keeps Riley up to date on the appropriate trends and social etiquette. She's particular about fashion and food choices, helping Riley avoid things she dislikes, like broccoli. As one of the more observant emotions, disgust notices and appreciates the minuscule things in life, like the appearances of Riley's new classmates, especially the group of girls they deem cool. Since she knows what Riley likes and dislikes, it makes sense that disgust would contend with envy. As one of Riley's new emotions, envy appears alongside anxiety when Riley turns 13. Her primary function is to help Riley navigate her feelings about Valentina, someone she looks up to and admires. Riley may feel envious of Valentina's personality, social status, style, or hockey skills. In the first film, disgust prevents the other emotions from making social decisions she deems embarrassing, but envy may overpower disgust's desires. The two emotions share a scene in the trailer, with envy appreciating disgust's hair before she's brushed off. Like how Riley admires Valentina, envy may consider disgust as someone to learn from and bond with. She could begin copying disgust's mannerisms and behavior when the new emotions take over headquarters, until disgust returns to her rightful place and encourages envy to embrace her personality.
Let's go talk to them. Are you kidding? We're not talking to them. We want them to like us.
Number 3. Anxiety and fear. It may seem like the obvious choice, but anxiety and fear could have many things in common. Throughout the first film, fear manifests anxiety as Riley experiences many stressful situations. He's constantly discussing how something can go wrong, how events can influence the future, or blowing simple situations like being called on by the teacher out of proportion. When Riley's called on to introduce herself to her new class, Fear believes it's one of the worst things that can happen on her first day. However, Riley manages to handle herself well until sadness changes the emotion tied to her memories. When anxiety manifests, she becomes overbearing about how Riley should handle situations. In the trailer, she claims that the core 5 aren't sophisticated enough to help Riley navigate the changes in her life. It seems like anxiety will all but take over headquarters, believing changing Riley is crucial to making new friends and preparing for high school. However, her takeover may be a gradual conflict, occurring only after failed attempts to persuade the other emotions to take her concerns seriously. The trailer includes anxiety's introduction to the core 5, like how eager she and her friends are to make a good impression. Anxiety, for her part, seems willing to work alongside Joy and the others in the beginning, with fear and anxiety having similar functions on different scales. It's possible that the two emotions could gravitate toward one another. Anxiety could warn the others about a potential danger, with only fear giving her the light of day.
Oh, I'm sorry. We wanted to make such a good first impression.
What do you mean, we?
Number 4. Anxiety and joy. The primary conflict among the emotions in Inside Out occurred because Joy tried to repress sadness. From the moment Riley was born, Joy existed alongside her, watching her grow up. To the emotions, Riley is like the child they helped raise, and Joy can't help feeling protective over her. She believes Riley can handle any situation with a smile and positive attitude, which forces sadness into an antagonistic light when she's desperate to help Riley cope with the move to San Francisco. It takes most of the film for Joy to realize that every situation requires other emotions to feel complete, and that sometimes it's possible to feel sadness and joy simultaneously. Once Joy realizes how essential sadness is to coping, healing, and mental health, she allows her fellow emotion to use the control panel. By the film's epilogue, Joy has realized that caring for Riley should be a collaborative effort because all feelings have a role to play. She seems to carry this mentality into the sequel as she readily welcomes anxiety and the other 3 emotions into headquarters. Unfortunately, anxiety doesn't share her eagerness to work as a team. In the trailer, anxiety tries to take away control from Joy, criticizes her actions, forces Riley's core emotions to become repressed, and ostracizes them from headquarters completely. As we learned from the first film, Riley needs all of her core emotions present to help her feel her best and behave appropriately. Anxiety's control over Riley's life will likely cause her to spin out of control, contributing to her emotional breakdown showcased in the trailer. Eventually, anxiety will realize how necessary the core 5 emotions are and learn to work side by side with Joy, ensuring that Riley can handle any stressful situations brought her way.
Oh my gosh, I'm anxiety. Where can I put my stuff?
A new emotion!
Number 5. Joy and sadness. There's no denying that joy and sadness are the main characters from the first film. The story has many conflicts between them because on paper, it seems impossible for emotions like joy and sadness to coexist peacefully. However, they beat the odds by the end of the film. When they overcome their differences and work together, Riley benefits, allowing her to let go of the anger, fear, and unhappiness she has about moving to San Francisco. In the epilogue, we see the newfound collaborative effort shared between all the emotions, as many of Riley's memories become emotionally complex, containing 2 or 3 feelings related to each. These multi-emotion memories appear in the trailer for Inside Out 2, meaning that the core 5 emotions have continued to work together. The sequel will likely expand on the friendship between joy and sadness as they've become collaborators over the past 2 years. They may become co-leaders as they lead their fellow emotions through the labyrinth of Riley's mind. They still might not always see eye to eye as they undoubtedly have different approaches to situations, but they're still friends who can depend on one another.
When you think about it, because nothing else bad can happen while she's asleep. We'll be back to headquarters before she wakes up.
The entire premise of Inside Out relies on the idea that someone's emotions have a more direct influence on their every action. In the original film, we witnessed firsthand the catastrophes that can occur when 2 emotions can't work together. The inherent struggles shared between joy and sadness ultimately taught them to become a team, but the same isn't true about their dynamics with Riley's 4 new emotions. These brand new characters will create severe problems by forcing her other feelings out of headquarters. However, by overcoming their differences, the emotions may find some newfound friendships that could last throughout Riley's lifetime. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
You ready?